Hello guys, welcome back. Alex here. Today we're going to see 900 Filipinos versus 40,000 Chinese. It's something mind-blowing, and like you know, I want to know more about the Filipino history, and this is what we're going to see in this video. If you're new on the channel, welcome, like the video, subscribe, share it for more people to know about the courage that Filipino have, not only in war, but in history or in daily life, because you guys, I saw some documentaries on the channel and you guys are amazing. Let's go and watch this. So curious. 900 versus 40,000? I mean, what the hell?
In honor of those who sacrificed their lives for freedom, Masid proudly presents The Battle
Yultong.
of Yultong, a story of how Filipino troops braved a sea of Chinese soldiers during
Did you know about this?
The Korean War began on June 25, 1950, when North Korea, backed by China and the Soviet Union, crossed the border into South Korea in an attempt to capture its capital, Seoul. In response, the United Nations Security Council, through the formation of the United Nations Command, ordered the deployment of military forces to stop the invasion. On August 7, 1950, President Elpidio Quirino, with approval from Congress, sent 7,420 Filipino combat troops to fight in South Korea. President Quirino saw this as a commitment to help a friend and as part of a larger battle to save the world from communism. The 10th Battalion Combat Team, the Philippine Expeditionary Forces to Korea, was the first battalion to arrive on Busan shores on September 19, 1950. The 10th Battalion, made up of 1,303 enlisted men and 64 officers, was originally a motorized battalion sent to operate tanks from the US, but when none arrived, was turned into a heavy weaponry unit instead. On the night of April 22, the 10th Battalion, as part of the U.S. 65th Infantry Regiment of the U.S. 3rd Infantry Division, was attacked north of Yultong by a large force of Chinese and North Korean soldiers. This would be known in history as the Great Spring Offensive, one of the largest offensives by the 44th Division of the Chinese People's Volunteer Army and the Communist North Korean Army during the Korean War. In front of the Filipinos were 4 Chinese divisions numbering about 40,000 men. Just after midnight, the Chinese began their attack with a heavy artillery barrage. Soon after, the Chinese forces advanced, but had
I'm gonna stop for 1 second. This is amazing, even if it's animation. They're so cute, those little Filipinos. Man, I mean, guys, let's try to understand over here. 40,000 soldiers in front of you attacking. And there were like 1,300 in that moment over there. I mean, imagine how crazy this is. And I'm so curious how it's going to end. I don't know this part of history, but that's why I'm here on this channel, to understand even more about world history, of course, but especially Philippines. You know, I have some connection with the Filipinos that I admire a lot. Man, this is crazy.
difficulty as the 10th Battalion successfully defended their positions with mortar and artillery. However, a massive Chinese assault pushed the Turkish brigade from their position, allowing the Chinese to surround the Filipinos' eastern side. Seeing the incoming danger, Lieutenant Colonel Junicio Ojeda immediately organized a unit of battalion cooks and clerks to fortify and defend.
Holy crap!
With the help of M24 light tanks and artillery support, Lieutenant Colonel Ojeda's makeshift unit was able to hold off the advancing Chinese forces. The situation only got worse when the Puerto Rican 65th Infantry Regiment, situated on the west flank, began to fall back.
Man, they were surrounded!
With the west flank now exposed, the Chinese began advancing but were blocked by a platoon of Filipino soldiers situated on a hill overlooking Yultong. Commanded by Lieutenant Jose Arciaga, this platoon refused to yield and held their ground. This gave Lieutenant Arciaga's company commander, Captain Conrado Yap, enough time to mount a counterattack. The counterattack successfully extracted the trapped platoon from the hill and also stopped the Chinese from further advancing. But sadly, Lieutenant Arciaga and Captain Yap were killed during the fight. In the early morning of April 23, Lieutenant Colonel Ojeda led the second counterattack using M24 tanks. This caught the Chinese off guard and pushed them away from the hill they were trying to seize. The Filipinos fought until midday before it was ordered to withdraw and link up with the rest of the division in the south. 15 Filipino soldiers died, 26 were wounded, and 14 were missing in action, while the Chinese and North Koreans lost around 500 soldiers. The 10th Battalion's effort at Yultong allowed the U.S. 3rd Infantry Division to successfully withdraw from the battlefield, which would later on prove to turn the war in favor of the Allies. 2 weeks later,
Wow.
the communists began ceasefire negotiations after suffering more heavy losses. For the next 2 years, the Korean War was mostly battled from hilltops until a ceasefire was finally declared. Out of the 7,420 Filipino soldiers sent, 113 were killed, 313 wounded, 15 missing, and 41 held as prisoners of war. Today, a monument stands inside the War Memorial of Korea in honor of the many Filipino soldiers who fought for the liberation of Korea. Recently, during the 69th anniversary of the Korean War, the late Captain Conrado Yap was awarded the Taeguk Medal, the highest military decoration given to a soldier for bravery in combat. Also awarded the Taeguk Medal was fellow 10th Battalion team member Major Maximo Young for his heroism at the Battle of Yultong. The efforts of the 10th Battalion in the Battle of Yultong was instrumental in turning the tide of the war in favor of the Allied forces. South Korea remains a free democracy, thanks to the contribution of soldiers like the Fighting Filipinos, a name given by the US Command
Even more
brave
respect.
men of the 10th Battalion Combat Team. Did you like
And
our
they're
story?
so cute.
Are there other heroic adventures of Filipinos you want us to feature? Let us know in the comment box. Don't forget to like this video.
The original link, you can find it down below. Wow, guys, look. Imagine, I mean, like I said, the battle, and at that point that they were surrounded, but they didn't, try to withdraw or something. We are here, we're Filipinos, we're going ahead. The way you are doing right now in the daily life, struggling, but still, with every video I understand more about Philippines, I'm even more amazed and about the courage, about the life, about how you guys handle daily life things, and now in history as well. So maybe a lot of you knew about this. Of course, you're from Philippines, but maybe some of them don't. Some of you don't. And here on the channel, we discover things together. But this was beautifully done. Like I said, the original link, you can find it down below. They were so cute over there, those animated Filipinos. And man, what a courage! What a courage, and what a story, honestly. And I'm sorry that, you see, this kind of things are not well known in the world, and I'm sorry. It's really a shame for people, not to know about how brave Filipinos are, not only in the daily life but in history as well. And I guess the world has to give a lot to Filipinos for in every single way. I have a video of things that Filipino invented. It's mind-blowing. I'm gonna leave some cards here at the end of the video if you wanna, learn more. Okay, that being said, other videos coming up on the channel, guys. Like the video, subscribe, share it, of course. Let me know if you knew about this story down below in the comments. What do you think? What do you think about the courage about the Philippines? And what do you want here on the channel to be next? Leave your links down below. Till next time, like I always say, stay safe.